Jon Hook finds inspiration in the process. From farming his own fuel to experimenting with alternative techniques, he's always looking to get closer to the source.
I think there's something about, going out and harvesting the glazed material. Just for me, I'm out in nature, I'm walking around the field. There's so many other things I think that I respond to because of that, because you're part of that whole process. But I can't really see doing it any other way. I've encountered some artists that don't even fire their work. I mean, I can't imagine, I like to be part of it all. When I'm digging clay, you can see a change in the earth, and to me, the kind of the natural process that clay has gone through to get there to that point. You can see the different layers, the different rock formation within the clay, the color change, and I like to just imagine what that whole process was and how it came about. It just always kind of really blows me away. When I start to dig some of my local clay, and when you start to collect these plants and actually process them yourself, when you start to actually burn those things and start to test those glazes, just being in such a close connection to that plant, it's been pretty awesome. The Japanese really believe that nature is really alive. So for me, just from reading a lot of that literature, I guess I'm kind of taking that in my own kind of way. If you have like a kiln that's an electric kiln, just starts off, goes up to temperature, there's always oxygen present. But with a wood kiln, you've got combination, you're kind of mixing your gas and air, and you go through a series of oxidation reduction. So you get a lot of change in color, as well as the whole atmosphere inside the kiln is totally different. I've been experimenting with used fryer oil from restaurants. So it's a waste oil that's pretty much been being thrown away. I start with wood, get up to temperature about 2,000 degrees, and then I switch over to this oil, and just a fine stream of oil with a little bit of water dripping. So in a sense, it's a controlled grease fire. I've been finding I'm getting a lot more even temperature throughout the kiln, because usually I get kind of a cold spot in the bottom somewhere, but lately it goes up so fast, and I'm able to adjust it, and it works really well. I'm able to knock about 5 hours off my firing time, so it's been pretty awesome. Apparently the word organic is starting to get a bad name because corporations have learned how to kind of get their foot in the door of organics. So a lot of the farmers are talking about this new idea, which I think it's awesome. It's called regenerative agriculture. So in a sense, like I'm doing here, I'm regenerating. I'm planting locust trees for fuel. You're never out of a resource because I'm always regrowing it. Most ash glazes only have like 3 things in them. There's a plant ash, feldspar, which is a crushed stone, and then wood ash. So all the tests lately I've been doing are all elm wood ash. And I've definitely had experiments with, like, I've used cherry wood and burned it and collect the ash, and some of them don't turn out very well at all. So you've got to have, I usually do a lot of testing. When I look at especially the thistle ash glaze, you've encapsulated the whole process. Like, I've gone out to this farmer's field, I've found this plant that I had to take down before it went to seed. It's just the whole process, and then you burning it or drying it, burning it, just the whole thing, and then to see that glaze drinking out of that cup and realize that's made from thistle ash. That thistle's actually coming alive in the glaze in a sense. There's some kind of life force there. For me, that's just so profound. It just really kind of blows me away.